realize.
So, what do you think about the free speech in comedy? Should it be free actually, or should it have barriers?
So it makes sense to have barriers when society prioritizes culture more than comedy. And where India is such a country that is obsessed with principles like respect and dignity, it completely makes sense that you have to have barriers about where comedy can go and cannot go. But for the most part, I think for comedy to manifest in its best format, it only works out when there is complete free speech. And eventually, comedy will also make some mistakes about going a little over the board, but it corrects itself after a certain point in time when society stops responding to extremely vulgar content. It is a self-correcting problem, but we have to go through the process to realize that society can take free speech also. But what happens in countries like India is that our cultural thresholds that get offended so easily, we never get to realize that side of comedy through mature evolution through some vulgar elements and then gradually shifting to a moderate balance between vulgarity and offense taking and all. So right now, in India, most comics treat comedy as like a stunt. They will try to make something so funny purely by making it vulgar. Now, in Western countries, that is not the case for the most part. They don't try to make something comic just by making it vulgar. They make it comic, and they get vulgar, they get vulgar. They don't mind. Point I'm trying to make here is that when comedy is shackled by things like these, comedians start treating vulgarity like a very weird competition to crack. Where they start thinking, let me see how much I can push you. Let me push one more little step. Let me go one more step and let me see how society reacts. So this becomes a very weird and perverted competition within comedy itself, where comedians then start focusing more on trying to be vulgar and almost barely crossing the boundary all the time, rather than actually making comedy.